obsolete, Mr. Wordsworth.
Lie. No man is obsolete.
It's a cookbook.
Who are we?
When will they take the bandages off?
You're a bad man. You're a very bad man.
This lemon sucker here. He's the most suspicious of the bunch.
My name is Talkie Tina, and I'm beginning to hate you.
I believe you're going my way.
Live from Willoughby at the heart of the Twilight Zone. Here are your hosts, Alex and Tyler, the prestigiously perfect podcast in which we call The Twilight Zone.
What is up, Nomies? I'm Alex.
And I'm Lieutenant Tyler.
There you go. This is a podcast that we go through an episode of The Twilight Zone at random each week. This is episode 96. You fucked me up completely.
I know, I can tell by your face, you're like, shit, I wasn't prepared for that.
What episode are we going to be discussing this week, Ty?
This week we have The Last Flight.
Season 1, Episode 18, original air date February 5th, 1960. Last week's episode was February 4th, 1961.
Wow.
Total mind blow. This was written by Richard Matheson and directed by William F. Claxton, who directed 4 episodes of The Twilight Zone. You ready for him?
Let's hear him.
He did The Last Flight, The Jungle, The Little People, and I Sing the Body Electric. I might say this is his best one. I know you like The Little People.
I love The Little People, but this is a really good episode too, but I think The Little People would go just above it. Then this, then I Sing the Body Electric. The Jungle, I haven't watched in a long time, but I don't remember it being very good.
Same. We'll jump right into it, Ty. What was your favorite moment?
I love the moment when Decker finally has that realization that his friend only survived because he came back for him. I love time travel episodes or time travel anything really when kind of time works in a certain way where it's not exactly linear. I always think that's fun.
My favorite is the end when they're talking to Mackay and they sit down, Leadbottom. I don't know, that whole thing with the old man. How the devil did you know?
Yeah,
I like that.
It is a really fun realization moment.
We have the technology to rebuild it.
Doctor, what have you created?
I am, for all intent and purposes, AI Serling.
So every week I put a prompt into ChatGPT, come up with a funny, meta, Rod Serling-style intro to the episode we are watching, and this week it came up with this. Picture, if you will, a man who has already outrun one war and is about to collide head-on with another. A pilot from 1917, dressed for dogfights and dishonor, who suddenly lands his rickety biplane, not in France, but in a much more modern sort of trouble. The uniforms are different, the music is louder, and no one here is particularly impressed by the Red Baron. Tonight's tale asks a timeless question. Can you escape your past by flying fast enough, or does it always have a reserved seat waiting for you? Our guest star would very much like to know, as he just discovered that time travel offers no frequent flyer miles, only moral turbulence and a very rough landing. Submitted for your approval, a story about courage, cowardice, and the uncomfortable truth that history has a way of circling back. Buckle up, this flight makes no layovers, and it lands squarely in the Twilight Zone.
I like that one. That's really good. One nitpicky point, though, he does actually land in France.
Yes. All right. Every week down, I come up with a few questions for each other, keep each other on our toes while watching said episode. I have 3 this week.
I have 4.
Go for it.
All right. What's the number written on the Jeep in the beginning?
209-799-54.
You were looking at your notes.
I was. That was one of mine, obviously.
Yep.
What is Decker's plane number?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask that. I didn't write it down. I feel like it was started with 206.
56.
56.
Yes.
That was it? 206-56?
It was just 56.
Oh.
That's the number on Decker's
That's a
plane.
really short plane number.
That's because, remember at the end it said his division was Division 56, so he had the 56 on it.
Yep. All right. Where did Decker think he was landing?
I had to rewatch it a couple times and I still didn't get it. It's some, I don't know.
56 Squadron RFC.
Yep. What is the room number that he's being held in?
24.
Yes.
That was one of mine. And my last one, what administration building are they in?
B.
E2.
Damn it. E too low.
Something Wong.
All right, well, I guess we'll jump right into the plot of this one. We open on a cool transition shot from the stars to the clouds. I really enjoyed that.
I did like that a lot. That was good on their part.
We see a man in a World War I plane, and because it's season 1, we are thrust right into the Rod intro.
Just thrust right in.
Witness Flight Lieutenant William Terrence Decker, Royal Flying Corps, returning from a patrol somewhere over France. The year is 1917. The problem is that the lieutenant is hopelessly lost. Lieutenant Decker will soon discover that a man can be lost not only in terms of maps and miles, but also in time. And time in this case can be measured in eternities.
Where are we? I think the better question is, when are we?
The World War I plane lands at Lafayette Air Base in France, but it's obviously modern day because there's a big jetliner there.
Well, modern day for when it was filmed.
Yes. Next shot, the military police are flagging him down. Stop this fucking thing at once. The police tell him to get out. And like,
what do you think they would do if he just kept driving like, no, it's okay?
Fire at him. He's gonna run in. That plane would probably break if it hit another plane or something.
Probably.
But they ask him, what are you doing driving this antique? What are you, French? No, I'm British, actually. Did you get that? Just very awesome. No, British, actually.
And then he's like, I'm assuming you guys are American. I had no idea you were so advanced.
What are you talking about? You better come with me. They take him in to meet the Major General. Major General's like, what is this? And the other major is like, he's British, sir. British,
I'm British, actually.
And I'll play a little bit of this because he introduces himself to the two majors.
He even asks about his outfit, too, which is also an Austin Powers reference.
You part of the show? No, British, actually.
Oh, sorry.
Why are you dressed like that?
I beg your pardon, sir?
There's some kind of an air show nearby?
Air show, sir?
Are you making a film?
I'm afraid I don't quite understand you, sir.
You don't understand? Why are you wearing this costume?
This is my uniform, sir.
You're... At ease.
It's soon after this point that they kind of put two and two together, like old outfit, old plane, you're using old terminology, and then...
where do you... Because Decker asks, where am I? And they're like, where do you think you are?
And then the major then asks, when do you think you are? And he says, why, it's March 5th, 1917, of course.
And there's an awkward silence, and Decker looks at him. He's like, well, isn't it? And Wilson kind of shakes his head and goes, no, it's March 5th, 1959, Lieutenant.
Dun, dun, dun. Decker must be freaking the hell out. Although,
he does
ask immediately, like, you guys are joking with me, right? Like,
right? And they're like, no, not joking. He's like, give me a second here. He's all confused. The Major General says, you don't really expect us to believe this, do you? He's like, but it's true. When I took off this morning, it was 1917. He looks out the window and sees some jet fighters.
And he also is looking at some clouds, too, and then he's kind of has a memory return to him of like, oh, there was actually another person I'd heard of that went up into the clouds. And
he was swallowed in the clouds just like I was. It was like it was in a vacuum. He tells the story about that other French pilot that disappeared. The Major General is like, who do you think you're fooling? But Decker keeps sticking to his story, and he says, me and Mackay were en route together. And Major's like, hold on a second. Alexander Mackay? Decker's like, yes. How do you know him? Major General says, you're trying to tell me that Alexander Mackay, the air marshal,
who's on his way to inspect our base today.
Very Superintendent Chalmers. At this time of day.
At this time of hour, localized entirely at Lafayette Air Force Base.
Yes.
May I see him?
No. Decker says, that's impossible. They ask why, and Decker says, because he's dead. Dun, dun, dun. Next shot, the majors are going through all of his belongings, and they all appear to be of the time period. The Major General says to Wilson, well, if this is a hoax, it's a very elaborate one. The Major General doesn't believe it at all and says, we'll ask the air marshal when he gets here. Wilson says, I think there's more to it. I don't believe this is a hoax. The Major General's like, you actually think that Decker had ulterior motives? Look. The Major General then thinks, you don't think he had ulterior motives and that he had a gun? What Wilson's just like, he kept it in the cockpit, though. I don't think he meant to use this weapon on anybody.
Right? Like, if he was a man that just flew onto the base disguised as a 1917 pilot, he probably would have brought his gun with him if the whole mission was to kill Mac or whoever they assume he's trying to kill.
Next shot, Decker is in a holding area. Major Wilson comes in to see him, and Decker says, "Why am I being kept here?" And Wilson's like, "What are you afraid of? You want to see McKay, right?" And Decker's like, "No, but he seems very nervous, and he doesn't really want to see this Alexander Mackay." Wilson's like, "What you're asking us to believe is crazy." And he's like, "Well, sometimes crazy things happen. It happened today." And I'll play some of this because he's kind of tells him the old story of what happened to old Leadbottom.
You really feel you know him, don't you?
Know him? Old Leadbottom?
Leadbottom?
Yeah, well, whenever we flew over the German lines, the soldiers fired at us. Well, one day, Mac got hit in a most embarrassing spot. I always called him Old Leadbottom after that. It's a private joke, of course. Mac's a proud fellow, you know. He wouldn't like it if I bruited it about.
But why do you keep insisting that he's dead?
Because the last I saw of him, he was caught in a circle of 7 German planes. There was nothing I could do about it. Of course, I was involved with 3 others.
Obviously, he got away.
I don't see how he could have.
So now the mystery starts to pile up. So somehow his friend Mac survived, even though Decker saw him surrounded by a bunch of enemy planes.
Right, and Wilson tells him he was one of Britain's big heroes during the Blitz. That's the second war we told you about.
I like how they mentioned that. They're like, because earlier on he does say you're a World War I pilot. Like, to him, without the context.
You mean the Great War?
Yeah, without the context of knowing there's a second one coming, that would have been like, what the hell are you talking about, World War I? Like, do you mean there's going to be a second one of these?
Right. Wilson tells Decker, he's like, Mackay saved thousands of lives that night. Decker tries to run for it. They stop him very easily, and Wilson's like, what's wrong? Mackay will be here in a minute, and Decker says, I don't want to let him see me because he knows what I am. And I'll play some of this because he's kind of in a rock and a hard place now.
And he has to kind of go into this whole monologue of how acknowledging that he's kind of been a coward this whole time.
Mackay will be here in a little while and we'll get to the bottom of it.
I tell you what, I can't see him.
Why not?
Because he'll know me for what I am.
What are you?
I'm a coward! I'm a coward. I've always been a coward. All my life I've been running away. Pretending to be something I never was, never could be. That's why I'm here, because I was trying to run away. Because I wanted so desperately to escape that I did escape. Up there, I'm just as afraid as I am on the ground.
It's at this point that Decker goes on to tell Wilson here, he's just like, I think that Alexander there kind of liked looking for fights. Not me. I'd just hang up in the clouds and wait till it was time to go home.
And then he kind of gets to the truth about what actually happened right before he kind of disappeared into the future, about how he was actually fleeing and kind of leaving Mac to kind of fight on his own.
Right? And Wilson tells him, but he didn't die. And Decker's like, but that's what I can't understand.
And then I like this. Wilson kind of pops up into his head of the idea of, well, he must have gotten help somehow, to which Decker then comes up with the idea of, well, the only way he could have gotten help is me. I'm the only person that knew where he was and that he was in danger. So he kind of formulates in his mind, what if it was me that actually went back to save him?
It was my dad. He was the stag. No, Harry, he's not coming. It was you the whole time. Best Harry Potter movie.
Terrible.
Nope. It's the best. And anyway, he's like, you gotta let me go. Can't you see? If I don't go there, I can't save him, and he won't save all these people. And Wilson's like, I can't let you go.
Very similar line of logic to It's a Wonderful Life, where it's like, you weren't there to save your brother Harry, and Harry therefore wasn't allowed to save all the other people.
So then Decker knocks him out, and he runs away and to find his plane. He eventually does find his plane. He jumps in it, but Wilson catches up to him, puts the gun to his head. He's like, get out, Decker. And Decker's like, no, go ahead and kill me. I'd rather die than be a coward. And he kind of just starts driving off, and Wilson kind of lets him, but he loses his hat, too. So he's probably like, oh, what the hell? Did you notice that?
I did not.
The prop blew his hat off.
Yeah, so then he flies off into the sky, and next shot, we are in the Major General's office, and he's given a big chewing out. just as the famous Mac Leadbottom arrives.
Right. And they're like, do you ever hear of Lieutenant Decker? Yeah, why? He saved my life. And I'll play some of this because this is a great twist. I remember liking this episode, but the whole thing of it being a secular like that is so cool.
Yeah, I really love how time works in this episode.
So did you ever know a man by the name of William Terence Decker?
Terry Decker? Oh, I certainly should know him. Saved my life.
What?
How did he save your life, sir?
Well, you see, we were out on patrol together. Now, as a rule, we'd have split up. But on that day, we were flying together when a flight of Germans dropped down on us.
You fought them together?
Well, not at first.
What do you mean, sir?
Well, I had a feeling that old Terry was lighting out on me.
He flew away?
Yes. Climbed high. Disappeared in a cloud.
A white cloud, sir?
I don't know. I suppose so.
And then?
Well, then, out of nowhere, it seemed, Terry came diving down, his gun chattering away. He got 3 of the blighters before they got him.
I like this whole thing. This whole episode's awesome. And then he goes on to say, or at least the Major General says, they always would bring back his stuff. Like, well, they didn't get his stuff. It's like, that's because we have it.
Yeah, he kind of presents them with the effects of Decker that were missing all this time.
Right, and they're like, was this him? And they're like, how the devil did you get this? And I like Wilson's.
Sit down, old Leadbottom.
That is pretty good. Doesn't Leadbottom kind of look like Leslie Nielsen a little bit?
Yeah, I can see that. It has yeah.
Similar, not exactly, but a little similar. And then Rod takes us out.
Dialogue from a play, Hamlet to Horatio. There are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Dialogue from a play written long before men took to the sky. There are more things in heaven and earth and in the sky that perhaps can be dreamt of. And somewhere in between heaven, the sky, the earth, lies the Twilight Zone.
And that's our episode. Tyler, what did you learn?
Apparently, I've been mispronouncing the word lieutenant this whole time.
All right. We'll get right into ratings. IMDb currently has us at an 8 out of 10. I don't know if I like this better or you.
I think we might be close on this one.
You think so?
Do you want to say it at the same
time?
time?
Yeah, it's been a while.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 7.5. I almost gave it an 8, but I was looking at my other 8s and I was like, I don't know. This is a really good episode. If it was in an 8, it would be at the bottom of my 8s, but it's a very high 7.5. But I'm gonna keep it at a 7.5. But it's so good. The acting, the guy who plays Decker there, he should be in our running for best actors. He did a very good job.
He's a good actor, yeah.
But the story, like, this would be such a good episode to show someone the Twilight Zone for the first time too. The twist is amazing. I mean, I'm kind of a sucker because anything World War I love, but I can't praise this episode enough. I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, I'm giving this an 8. It's fun time travel story. Love the twist that Decker's friend ended up surviving because he himself went back and saved him. Love the moral behind it, how Decker has to, learn to find his courage. And yeah, overall, just a really great episode. There were a little bit parts where were slow, like when he was in the interrogation room. But other than that, that's really the only thing that kept it from being higher than an 8. But
I agree.
Yeah, good episode.
Who are they? Where are they? What are they? Let's find out together in the Twilight Gnome presents Inside the Twilight Zone.
All right, I'm going to butcher this one, but as our Lieutenant Decker there, we have Kenneth High, I believe. This was the only episode of The Twilight Zone he was in, unfortunately, but he was in the movie Cleopatra. He played Brutus. He was in Eagle in a Cage. I never saw the movie, but he played Napoleon in it, which I could kind of see.
Sure.
You can see it? He was in 2 episodes of Hitchcock Presents, 3 Playhouse 90s, and this was like New Fear Unlocked. He spent the last 15 years of his life in a care home because he suffered brain damage after choking on a chicken bone and was almost like a vegetable or so after that.
Jesus Christ.
That would be terrible.
Yeah. Eat boneless wings, I guess.
Yeah. Alexander Skirby, he played Major Harper, the Major General. He was in 2 Playhouse 90s, 1 Bonanza, 4 Studio One. He had 90 credits to his name from the 1940s to 1985. Then we have Simon Scott. He played Major Wilson. He was in 2 episodes of Charlie's Angels, 9 episodes of Days of Our Lives, 5 Perry Mason, 1 episode of The Munsters, but nothing that really stood out to me. This was filmed at Norton Air Force Base in California, even though it's set in France. Obviously, they wouldn't have gone there, but just so you know, this reuses music from the episode Where Is Everybody, which I did notice a few times. In total, this episode cost $44,868. The director received $1,000, which usually directors were getting the $1,250. I mean, I guess this is season 1, so they didn't really have anything set in stone yet. And the cast received $6,207.
What'd you say to me, Mike?
What's in a name, Mr. Whittaker, really? A mere question of semantics. Just language. A mere stretch of words.
So every week, Tyler and I come up with a few alternative titles to the episode we are watching. I have 3 this week.
I have 5.
All right, go for it.
I have the Decker debacle.
I have the dogfight debacle. It actually makes sense this time.
That one makes a lot more sense now. I have Find Your Courage in the Sky.
I have Blast from the Past.
I have Back to the Past.
You want to do one more?
I have The Future of Flight.
I think this is the best one. I love World War I and I love music. And there was a song, and I think it fits perfect for this. Over There. Over there. Because he goes over there. Over there.
I don't get the song reference.
Yeah. It's a very old song. Huh? Oh, no, it's from World War I.
Oh.
It's like over 100 years old song.
Never heard of it. My last one, Through the Clouds.
Pretty decent. I kind of like my Blast from the Past.
That's already a movie.
Yeah, but this would have preceded it.
No, I'd say Find Your Courage in the Sky. I'm gonna go
I like Over
one.
There, actually.
I don't like the Over There one.
All right. Switcheroos, I have like 6.
I have 5.
Go for it.
When the Sky Was Opened.
Yep, I have that. I have I Shot an Arrow into the Air.
Nope, I got The Purple Testament.
I have Where Is Everyone?
I have The Odyssey of Flight 33.
Or Everybody, I should say. Nick of Time.
The Arrival.
Yep, I have that one.
And my last one, Nightmare at 20,000 Feet.
Yep, that's what I had as well.
All right, so just a few references here, none super concrete, but starting us off with the most concrete one, there was a 1960s TV show called McHaley's Navy, and in it there was a character called Captain Wallace Birmingham, or Birmington, and he had the exact same nickname of Leadbottom as our character here does. So I don't know if that's a coincidence, probably.
When year did it come out? Quite a bit after
the show was
or?
ran from 62 to 65, I think, so it's a few years after.
Quite possibly then.
Yeah, could have been. Also, just a bunch of TV shows in general that kind of have episodes with very similar premises. We got Doctor Who, Star Trek, and Quantum Leap, all depicting instances of characters that kind of get time displaced and then who have to reconcile with their fears and become a hero. Very similar to what Decker did here. And then there's the 2014 movie Edge of Tomorrow, where an officer kind of has to relive the same battle through a time loop until fear gives way to courage and self-sacrifice. And last, 2011's movie Source Code, where a reluctant soldier repeatedly relives a moment until he embraces responsibility and is able to perform his heroic act.
Pretty decent. All right, so every week Tyler picks the episodes, and he does so by showing me an AI-generated picture. I play a little game where I have to guess what it is. Now, this week I do not know what the next one is. So, you said we're in Death Other?
Nope, we are in all 5 categories.
Was this
and all
the first?
This was the first one, so this was a season 2 time.
This is season 1.
Or season 1.
That's time?
Was this season 1?
This is season 1.
Okay, it was a season 1 time.
Okay.
It's checked off. So
I'm really hoping for an alien then.
All right.
I have no idea, but I'm hoping for an alien.
Are you ready?
Yeah. It is an alien. The Fugitive.
It is The Fugitive. Yeah.
All right. That's a good episode. Old Ben.
I was kind of disappointed. I had this up like in my mind as like a really high episode. It was still good. It just, I don't know, it just wasn't as good as I remembered it being.
A little creepy.
No, just, I don't know, kind of a little flat.
It's one of those things. This obviously is a lot worse than like One for the Angels, but I know a lot of people are turned off by how like kind of pedo-y it seems, but I think that he's genuine. I mean, he marries her in the end. It's definitely a big red flag, but
there's definitely a lot of parallels between this and One for the Angels, and I would have to say I think I like One for the Angels maybe a little bit more.
Oh, for sure. One for the Angels is an amazing episode, and it has a lot more heart. This one kind of tries to have the heart, but I don't think it sticks the landing.
No.
But
still a good episode, though.
Yeah, The Fugitive. All right, that's a good one to look forward to next week. A little bit of housekeeping. If you guys could please continue to like and subscribe on the YouTube page, it would mean the world to us. And if while you're at it, go over to the posts and check out some of Ty's polls that he keeps dropping every Tuesday. He's got quite a few good ones on there. And if you're bored and want something to do, you could go through. You probably have like 30, 40 minutes worth of going through the old polls and voting on your favorite ones and leaving some comments. If you guys could please leave some comments on anything. We love reading out comments. We don't have any this week because we are recording 2 in a row.
Shh, they're not supposed to know.
But yeah, thank you guys so much. If you need to get a hold of us for any other reason, you can email us at twilightgnome59@gmail.com. Tyler, my final question for you. What is your favorite war and why is it World War I?
My favorite war?
It's got to be a real one. It can't be
I
like
can't say
Star
Storage
Wars.
No.
Isn't that one that like you're like, wow, I really want to learn more about that history, or it's really cool?
I'm trying to go through my mind if I actually care enough about any of them. I guess the War of Independence, I guess.
The American Revolution, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know. I've always been drawn to World War I for some reason. I love the time period, which I think that
it is
helps
cool,
a lot.
The saying of like they went in on horses and flew out in planes.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a lot of technological innovation. That
it would be the most terrifying war to be in.
Oh my god!
I know
absolutely.
obviously all war is scary, but like the shit those guys saw in the trenches and freaking like you've never seen like a tank or a machine gun or a plane and then like
mustard gas and
yeah, that horrible war.
I know you like the World War I's probably like your most interested one. Have you ever seen the Christmas movie Joie de Noël?
No.
Or something like that. It's it has the lady from National Treasure in it. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No, I haven't seen that in a long time.
You haven't? It's one of the best movies in the world. You should definitely rewatch National
We're gonna
Treasure.
steal the Declaration of Independence.
Anyway, it has her in it, and it's based off a true story where on Christmas Day during World War I in no man's land, they had
a ceasefire.
They had a ceasefire. They played like football with each other and kind of celebrated for the day before going back to fighting.
And then you got the Christmas song, "There run bells on Christmas bells." The Red Baron.
The Red Baron song.
That's a World War I song.
It is, yeah.
It is. What's your favorite World War I movie? You're not a big war movie, are you?
No, I don't like war movies in general.
All Quiet on the Western Front is so good.
Never seen it.
Or Paths of Glory, or 1917.
Never seen it.
So good.
Wait, I do know one World War I movie that I have seen that I liked. Wonder Woman. I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, that is good. That is a very good one. Good job. What's your guys' favorite World War I movie? World War I is awesome. We went to DC and everything has like a memorial and all that, but World War I it seems like World War I and Korea get forgotten. And
doesn't World War I have a monument?
No, they got the World War II one. I don't believe they have a World War I monument. We went to the Library of Congress and
They've gotta have a World War I.
I don't believe they do.
They must.
I like how in England, for November 11th on Veterans Day, which is Armistice Day, they have all the poppies come out of the. It might be all year round, but they have all the poppies for all the soldiers who lost their lives in World War I coming out of the castle. It's insane amount of poppies. It's cool.
I've never heard of that. But did you hear about apparently Archduke Ferdinand's license plate says like A111117 or something like that? Like some weird coincidence where it's like Armistice November 11th, 1917. Like his license plate. Because obviously his death kind of kicked off World War I, and it's funny that his license plate kind of predicts the end. You ever seen that?
No, but I was just trying to think. I'm pretty sure that it ended in 1918.
Well, the license. I don't remember what the license plate number is, but it's numbers that kind of depict the ending of the war.
Thinking of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. What's that movie, The Kingsman?
Yes, The Kingsman.
That's a World War I. You could call that one because it's got Rasputin. It's got.
I'd still pick Wonder Woman over that one though, but that was an okay movie. I like the other Kingsman better, the first one.
All right. Well, until then, Ty, do you have anything to say to our dear, dear listeners out there?
Yes, thank you all for stepping into the Twilight Gnome with us.
It's 4 o'clock, the howling man is gone.